I can tell you about the physical aspects of it, of like, this is why they did it, this is what they wanted from it. But then a part of me is also how much of it was all symbolic.
Right.
But the problem with that, Mark, is that there are guys that are reading this stuff, even from that time, that were following the recipes at face value.
Right. Well, and you know, to be clear, we're not talking about like creating like a clay doll and then putting life into it. That's more like the Gollum concept. We're talking about actually creating an embryo and allowing that to develop into a living being of some kind.
Yeah.
And again, going back to that virgin birth concept, and then what we were talking about earlier about the, you know, actual astrophysics of the planet and how we're affected by what's around us. I mean, there's a whole science that's gone into studying, you know, and this is going to sound a little kooky, but if people remember my conversation with Ola Wolny, and we talked about how there are hospitals, I think in the Czech Republic, funny, we were just talking about Prague, where they not only calculate the birth chart of a newborn, but then they can use that birth chart and the astrological features of the birth chart to determine certain health, concerns and maybe ways that the child is going to develop, even personality traits. So it's very interesting how all of that affects us as human beings. And maybe there was a time in the past where parthenogenesis, or these virgin births, were possible and a regular part of the community. I mean, you know, I'm not going to take the feminist stance because we know how psyoped that whole movement has been. But when you get into the world of the esoteric and the occult, a big undercurrent is everything pertaining to the goddess and how the goddess culture has been diminished and how women in turn have been diminished. And a ton of women listen to these podcasts. I mean, I've got a ton of women listening to my podcast and supporting the podcast. Shout out to all the strong, brave women in the audience, because I feel like deep down intuitively they know, and that's what draws them to these subjects.